So in this video, I'm going to take you through how I relatively simply change just the coolant. You can see here I'm using a USB powered fluid transfer pump. It's pretty easy, or it's pretty simple and easy to use. I bought it for $20 on Amazon. It runs off USB. I've got my battery pack running it. It ran just fine. So I'm going to empty the tank to eliminate a fair bit of the mess. This is the simplest way to empty that tank, is to use a fluid transfer pump. You obviously use a manual pump or anything else you have. Okay, what do we have here? We have the fuel line disconnected. I've got a rag over it just to keep the fuel line from dripping and from it getting hit. This is loose all the way back in there. The supply line over here has been disconnected. It's over here. This is disconnected. This is disconnected. And then it's really just a matter of wiggling it and getting it out. It's going to hit this bottom hose a tiny bit, but there's room to work that around. And that's really all there is, hopefully, to pulling this out. I'll give you an update after I get it out, but that's it. It's just disconnecting everything and pulling it out. So some tips. I did end up dropping the engine just a little bit, and then the tank pulls out and then tilts up. One particular tip that might help you is this, the return, or this line, I'm not sure what it is, does clip in all the way back there. You reach all the way back around, and if you unclip it, you have a little bit more room to work in here. But outside of that, as they famously say, install is the reverse of removal. So we'll see how that goes in a little bit. So I got this in. A couple of tips. This doesn't need to come all the way off. There's a keyway in there, and halfway through it can slide down. So you don't need to pull this all the way out. I also, as a reminder, I did unclip that line, so that helped quite a lot. And then I did also drop the engine quite a bit to give myself room. There's no point in struggling with this. I also happen to need motor mounts. If your motor mounts look like that, it's definitely time to replace them. So that's the notes on getting it out and getting it back in. Again, that keyway halfway through is a super important tip, because it really isn't as bad as you think it is. It doesn't have to come as far. You just put it at an angle, and then it slides up in and drops in there. Not having to work around the motor mount's nice too. So some final notes after I finished the job. It was really not a bad job at all. Again, it's an opportunity to do motor mounts. So if you're in there doing motor mounts, you might change your tank. If your tank is an 03 on the end of it, it's an old tank. They sit in the engine bay, they crack due to heat. It's probably worth doing. It's not super expensive and can eliminate a mess and a bunch of problems if this fails on the road. The other thing that I would say is, because this was only just a small amount of coolant that I drained out, I obviously replaced it with new coolant. I'm not going to reuse old coolant, Porsche branded, of course, but I did not need to do a complete drain and fill of the car. Obviously, if that's due, you should do a drain and fill, but I just went ahead and burped the system a couple of times to eliminate any air pockets, and I had no issue. I was actually able to work the pipe at the bottom to get the few little air bubbles that were in there out before I even started the car. But I ran the car with the cap off for a good 20 minutes to get it hot, and then I made sure that I refilled the tank to the middle of the line. I seem to have been stable ever since. Hope that helps.